Welcome to Division Rivals. I'm Gabe Cohan.
I'm Kenny Weber.
I'm Lucas Cistro, dude.
And this has been a wild week of football.
Tell me about it.
I'm happy for once. Can officially say that I'm happy. That doesn't mean that I'm delusional, like a couple of our podcast mates. Dwayne had to work tonight and couldn't make it in, but he has sent in some stuff, so we'll get to that. My bad for interrupting you, Gabe.
What's driving that happiness, Kenny?
The Cowboys the offense looked good. Dak looked very good. This doesn't mean I can't go and just be like, we've completely turned around. But this is what, a get-right game is what they call it. I don't really like that, but it kind of is what it is. That's what you're hoping. We go into the bye. We have the Packers after the bye. That'll be a good test because every week we're saying the Packers are going to have their get-right game and turn their season around. So the Cowboys need to go in and fucking do the same thing to the Packers. You know what I mean? Is what everybody else has been doing. And they need to win. They need to keep winning. Dak needs to keep looking good so the disrespect can stop. And this is the first step in that.
Yeah, 49-29 over the hapless Bears. Although the Bears didn't look awful on offense. Micah Parsons, the fumble that he returned for a touchdown really kind of turned the entire game.
Yeah, not to mention that it was because Justin Fields didn't touch him. All he had to do was touch him, and he completely glanced over him.
Yeah,
did you see how he was chasing Justin Fields, then went into the backfield, then got up, jumped over a guy, fucking all of that. Like, it was wild. It was such a wild play. It's pretty awesome. It's nice to have, that level of player on the defense and for it to have come through into the second season. Because so many times you get those sophomore slumps or just somebody does good one season and you're like, this is our guy. And then it's never the same.
Yeah, no, Micah Parsons is that guy. Justin Fields might be that guy. But I'll tell you what, the one thing that impressed me on that, his hops. The guy can jump.
Yeah. They also scored 29 points on the best defense in football.
Yeah, not a lot of teams have done that this year. Are you worried about that?
I'm not. I'm not worried unless let's say now we see another the Packers. The Packers have not been scoring that many points. Yeah. So if the Packers come out and score points on the Cowboys, then yes, I would be worried. This was a game that you still won by a lot of points. So it's it was might have been game script type stuff. They were running the ball when they should have been passing the ball. You know what I mean? Late in the game, they were just still going to the run because they were able to run on the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yes.
One more.
And moving on to
you didn't give it to him.
Cardinals and the Vikings. The Vikings beat the Cardinals. I think that makes a lot of sense, given that the Vikings are now 6-1. It was a close game, though. The Cardinals didn't look as lost as they typically do, although the clip circulating around the interwebs right now, which exemplifies the Arizona Cardinals season, is Isaiah Simmons yelling at Vance Joseph, "Get the fucking play call in."
That's pretty funny.
Makes me feel great.
Funny, yeah.
I'll be honest.
Does he wear the headset?
Who?
Isaiah Simmons.
Sure. Ostensibly. I honestly don't know. Let me call up the team real quick. No, I have no idea. I'm sure he's one of the guys that gets play calls going to his helmet.
I think there's only one. That's why I asked. Yeah, it's usually either the middle linebacker or the safety.
It's probably Kyler Murray, actually. Knowing how the Cardinals are so dysfunctional, they're probably giving him all the defensive play calls, and then Cliff Kingsbury's just talking to Isaiah Simmons in the huddle.
So you watched that game, Gabe. How truly good are the Vikings?
They're 6-1 good. What does that mean? I think they're okay. The Vikings, to me, are a team that I don't really see as a top 4 team in the NFC right now.
So you mean their record is not as good as they're playing?
Well, I think they're playing a lower tier of competition than the Cowboys and the Eagles have to date. The Cowboys are 6-2, right? I'd still take the Cowboys over the Vikings for sure. Definitely taking the Eagles over the Vikings. And potentially even the Seahawks.
Not to jump the gun because we'll talk trades, but do you think they're going to be a lot better with TJ Hawkinson?
How much better? Their offense isn't the huge issue. Now there's their defense. I think the issue with them is I don't really trust their first-year coach in Kevin O'Connell. He clearly knows how to call a good game script, and he will get people like Justin Jefferson the ability to get the football. At the same time, I don't know. They're the Vikings. Like they're gonna fuck it up. That's just what they
That's
do.
true.
Like they're not gonna be in the Super Bowl, and they're not gonna win a Super Bowl because they're Minnesota Vikings. Lizzo says it.
Lizzo?
Yeah, new man on the Minnesota Vikings. You know, that's T.J. Hawkinson. That's from
Oh, hell yeah,
2012,
dude. Yeah,
2014. I don't know how old that song is, but it's old.
That song's from like 2018 or 19.
Old.
Pretty
Technically, yeah. in, like, the
Anything
zeitgeist.
pre-COVID is old at this
I know.
point.
old. Do you think she cursed them?
Who,
Because
Lizzo?
ever since then, they've kind of just made it to the first round, maybe the second, and then
Well,
just
before they
lost.
didn't make it to any round.
Yeah.
Before that.
Hey, if Lizzo can say spaz in a song, we're chilling. All right. She almost,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
mini canceled for Lizzo, but love you, Lizzo. You're always welcome on the pod. We know you.
Yeah.
We know you love football, especially Minnesota Vikings and Baker Mayfield. So you're more than welcome to come on. Okay. Sometimes I wish I didn't say words. I said that earlier, and it's really being exemplified right now.
What's your phrase, dude?
It's a bad phrase for someone who talks as a podcast host. Did you guys watch Cardinals Vikings at all or no?
I did not.
I did, and I was actually I love rooting for the underdog. I was rooting for the Cardinals, and they just couldn't quite get it done. Yeah, I think they need Kyler to run around a little more. You know, I think they need to just accept he's not going to have a pocket and just roll it out every single time.
Hot take. We need a coach.
Yeah.
You guys got Cliff Kingsbury, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, KK.
What's his middle
he's the
name?
young guy.
I'm sure it's like Kruger.
Oh, shit.
Kingsbury.
Yeah.
I don't even know what kind of accent that was.
It's like a Scottish Highlander. Yeah.
There can only be one of us.
Just log chucking.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was an entertaining game, but there was at no point in time where I thought the Cardinals were going to beat the Vikings. The Vikings kind of had control the whole day. A game that also felt like one team really just kind of grabbed control and wouldn't release it are the beloved Giants of New York lost a football game. Shocking.
Yeah, kind of easier to do when you fumble 2 punts, you know, just not even getting hit that hard. I don't know if you guys saw him, but each one, this guy's just kind of holding it loosey-goosey, like, whatever, we'll see what happens, and maybe we'll get a little hole, and then bam, just, I think, I might be wrong, but I think both of them were forced by their backup tight end, Will Dissly. I don't know, is he a starter? I don't know. One of their tight ends. Either way, you got a tight end hitting some guy, and he just fumbled twice. Like after the first fumble, maybe you think like, hey, let's put someone else back there to return punts. No, the third time.
This is what I remember about division rivals. This is home. This is what this podcast is. The Giants losing, and just it feels at home. Listening to Lucas talk like this, I feel like this is what our podcast is.
It's fine.
He feels like, you know what I mean? I think it's a much better Lucas. I enjoy this. Yeah, I mean, I don't want you to lose every game, but I just think winning so many games in a row and having such a good season is not something I think for the good of our podcast that should happen too often.
Yeah, I don't want to say I expected to win, but I definitely came in, you know, once you get all these wins, like, we're probably going to win this. Not the case. You know, the Seahawks, Geno Smith has really turned a new leaf, and they outplayed us.
I'm checking back the notes from last week because I believe. Oh, look at that, Kenny. Both you and I picked the Seahawks. Can you believe that?
I can believe that.
Oh,
Okay.
We could actually analyze it without our heart being in there.
Wow, that is remarkable. Wow, Kenny, I think you and I were perfect this week.
Hell yeah.
And
Lucas, where did Lucas?
Lucas missed 2 games.
Oh, Lucas, you picked the Packers, didn't you?
Oh, I think I did. Yeah,
It was your
It's
underdog.
kind of a wild one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why. Thank you for bringing this up.
Yeah.
Gabe, because we should be lashing you for you. See, we're like we said, you we have to tick these against you. We should have like a whiteboard here,
Yeah.
and we should have like ticks on it for Lucas's bold predictions that don't come through.
That's sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. That's why they're bold, you know. I think if you add up my rights and wrongs, I think the rights still outweigh the wrongs, but this is clearly a wrong. I don't know. The Packers seem like they're improving, but not fast enough. It seems like they're still in preseason mode. What do you guys think? Are they just? I know they got outclassed by the Bills, but do you think there's any sort of hope in this Packers team?
I think they're a bad football team.
Just bad, period. Apparently, news is circulating that their defensive players have lost hope in their defensive coaching and play calling.
Where does that news circulating?
I don't fucking know. You know the rumor mill.
Oh, you know when you're talking about like when you're at work and you're at the water cooler with all the NFL like assistant coaches and like you're hamming it up with like towel guys and equipment managers.
Well, now there's new rumor mill called Twitter. I don't know if you heard of it, but you know,
honestly,
but that would also be the answer to where did you get this information?
That is like, you know, sources colon and then you get some wild tweet which you read it, you're like, oh, that kind of makes sense.
From now on, I'm gonna need an MLA works cited page every single time you bring up sources and rumor mill.
Don't remind me of MLA format. What is this, fucking 2016 when we're still in college? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, dude, you can't just say you're hearing things.
Like we don't discuss that at all. Like we don't discuss the whole Mari Cooper, you know, calling Dak Prescott the Black Kirk Cousins. Like we talk about this shit all the time, but when it comes from my mouth, oh my god, we can't discuss these things.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't talk about. I didn't. I mean, I don't really talk about that because I don't even know if that's true, if that really happened. But that was like in a bunch of places though, wasn't it?
The Amari Cooper thing?
Yeah.
I don't even know who he is.
Hey, he's back, baby.
No, he's been very good for the Browns.
The Browns, I know we're a little off topic, but dude, they've kind of been a surprise. Did anyone call the Browns winning this past week?
We didn't have them as a game.
That's right.
To discuss.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have thought that game would have went that way at all. Thought that the Bengals would have had it, but I guess
no Jamar Chase.
Yeah, that's true.
So, plus Myles Garrett is a big scary man.
Indeed.
Full stop.
I want to ruminate on that.
I like thinking about.
Can't get another
Garrett.
yes.
Moving on to another team in the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens eked out a victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are in complete free fall on Thursday Night Football this week. Is Tom Brady's marriage the thing that was holding him back? Evidently not.
Yeah, man, he just went to the well one too many times. He shouldn't have come back, man.
Yeah, no, I think he's old. Like, officially, Tom Brady is old.
Yeah, well, I think it's a little more than that, too. Their defense seems a little anemic. You know, I don't know if there was this one clip going around where Devin White, just complete lack of effort on, like, a screenplay. He's like, it's on the other side.
Hold on, this just in. Yeah. My sources are actually telling me that that their defense is actually eating a lot more red meat this week to cure their anemia.
That's crazy.
So we'll see if that changes on Sunday.
Yeah, my rumor mill actually came back saying that they actually all have sickle cell anemia. That's great. That's crazy.
Oh man, it's just weird. It's not a high elevation game, but okay, sure.
Sickle cell.
See how dangerous rumors can be, folks.
Yeah.
You know what though? It's funny you brought up. They lost. Browns lost. No Jamar Chase. Ravens were without most of the game without Mark Andrews.
Oh God, man! The Ravens win one game and everybody's fucking freaking out. Do you guys forget about all the games that they dropped? All the games that they should have won that they dropped.
Aren't they 5-2?
And then Lamar's carrying. Haven't they lost at least 3 games?
I think they've lost 3 games. They were 4-3 entering, I think 5-3 now. We'll double check.
Okay.
We'll double check.
But the games that they dropped are like definitely games that they should have won. And then he's gonna go out and hold a fucking sign. You beat up an old man, and then you're gonna go hold up a sign like "Pay Lamar." Like they're 5-3, and all 3 of those games were stupid losses.
Yeah.
When you are like arguing for that's a solid record in the NFL, like a good record in the NFL. But when you're vying for like most money, biggest contract, and it's just the way they drop those games that's hard for me. And I'm not saying he still is a great quarterback. Like I'm not just dismissing him and saying he's like garbage or anything. But I'm saying for what's the money that's about to come.
The Ravens are like the Korean gang in Gran Torino. Clint Eastwood movie. I've only watched the first half of it. I don't know what happens at the end. Don't spoil it.
Are you serious?
Oh my god!
I've only watched the first half.
I love how you
Gran
reference a
Torino.
movie that you haven't even watched all the way through.
I was jumping rope to it, and I was like, "Ooh, this is a little racy."
And they're not even Korean.
Sources: the Baltimore Ravens.
What are they? Vietnamese?
They're Hmong.
Yeah, exactly. They're very.
Aren't they
hung.
Hmong?
They're very
I
hung.
think the H is silent. Okay.
No, that yeah, you are right. Okay, they're not Korean. My apologies. Oh God, this is so bad. Okay.
So funny.
Speaking of Koreans, Younghoe Koo kicked the Falcons into victory in overtime. He really did. Is
Yes,
he
he
Korean?
did.
Then?
That was a segue. We should reward good things. That was a good segue.
Yeah,
Lucas.
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you.
Which ironically it gives them control of the NFC South. This is crazy. The Falcons.
They don't. Who do you think is better, the Falcons or the New York Giants?
I mean, don't ask me.
I know, Gabe. I guess I'm asking you that question.
I think the Falcons' offense is better without question, but they're just too streaky. The Falcons only like playing high-risk games. Like they're God, I hate myself. But they're like the offset of the NFL.
Oh,
Like they're just waiting to get shot in an alleyway. Yeah.
Skirt.
it was actually takeoff, but it's okay.
Yeah, he didn't want to go with them. He didn't want to desecrate the man who passed.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay.
wanted to strike close.
But no cigar.
Good ATL reference though, for sure. Yeah.
Skirt. Oh,
Quavo.
before we move on, Dwayne sent in a couple things. So if we could, I don't know what we're doing next week. He sent something about the Giants, and the game I think being 6-2.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we lost on Sunday, all right? I'm not happy about it, but 6-2 is pretty good, all right? If this time last year you told me we were 6-2, regardless of what the talent looked like on our roster or where we were expected to go for this season, I would have signed up for that 10 times out of 10. So that makes me feel really good about just the turnaround that we've been able to make so quickly.
So I love the attitude. They're so humbled when they lose, and I like it. I don't like, I'm happy. I'm feeling good.
Snap back to reality.
Yeah.
Back to life, back to reality.
I think it feels good knowing that we lost to like a good team too. Which is kind of weird to
the
say
Seahawks
because
are good.
Yeah, you didn't lose. It's not like, you know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not against that.
it still feels weird to say that the Seahawks are a good team, but they're great. They're in the driver's seat of the NFC West, and what more can you do, man? Pray for a receiver. I mean, they're all gone now, trade deadline, but hey, maybe OBJ, fingers crossed, putting it out there.
Yeah, Debo's hurt. Once he gets back, Niners will be golden. I think the Niners are going to win the NFC West. Sorry. Yeah, over the Seahawks. I just don't trust the Seahawks yet. They're good. They're very good. I don't trust them. That was a complete tangent. But the way the Niners just manhandled the Rams this past week, especially with Christian McCaffrey, I trust them a lot more than I trust the Seahawks to finish first in that division, regardless as to whatever moves the Seahawks didn't make.
Yeah, I'm glad the trade, worked out well immediately. I mean, obviously, when you send one of the best players in the NFL to another team, you figure, okay, it's going to pan out. But 3 touchdowns, one catching, one
receiving, one passing.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to. It's kind of like how I feel. Like we were mentioning this a little bit before, but it's just getting all the data points. It starts out. That starts out really, really good. But at least it's cool because we have half the season ahead of us to see the ups and downs of that. You know what I mean? Christian McCaffrey has been injury prone in his career. See what happens with that over these 9 games or 8 games left, and yeah, I'm interested in a bunch of that. I mean, the trades all seem very interesting.
Yeah.
Also pretty crazy that they traded away Jeff Wilson because, like you said, McCaffrey is a little injury prone,
But they gave up capital, you know what I mean, to get McCaffrey, and they were
Sure.
just trying to get something back because it seems that it's, it seems like everybody's wheeling and dealing. I mean, I'm not trying to reach so far ahead to the trades, but that seems like what a couple of the trades were were trading away because they had already traded shit away. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
they're backfilling their draft stock. I totally get that. You don't want to go into a draft with like 4 picks. That's scary.
Like what the Bears did with Chase Claypool and Roquan Smith, right? Where they sent out a second round for Chase Claypool, got back a second rounder for Roquan.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of value lost there because I think the Bears sent their
They did.
second to Pittsburgh, which is probably going to be a lot higher up than the Ravens' second. But, you know.
Yeah, they recouped a little bit.
Yeah.
We have one more game to talk about this week, then we can jump into trades, and that is Dolphins-Lions, which was probably the most entertaining first half of a football game this season. Dolphins ended up winning 31-27. Tua's back. And man, when Tua is on the Dolphins, they have probably the best offense in football.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, the Niners give them a good run for their money now, but we haven't seen them like at full strength yet because we haven't seen them with Debo. But that offense, it's amazing how easily they move the ball in very large chunks. Just, fucking 30 yards here to Tyreek, fucking 20 yards here to Jalen Waddle. You know, run play goes for 15. That's insane.
And they had Jeff Wilson Jr.
Man, yeah.
I got rid of Chase Edmonds, but as a Cardinals fan who watched Chase Edmonds for multiple years, he was not going to be an RB1 at any point in time.
Who?
Chase
Edmonds?
Edmonds?
No, it's funny. These started out this season. I kind of had a feeling that Mozart was going to win the job, and he did. And then he got traded away.
Mike McDaniel just taking back old 49ers players at this point.
Dude, honestly, but shout out to him for the loyalty because when he knows how to find talent. He's
I
like,
don't
all
know.
right.
He's like Kendrick Lamar of Miami.
Yeah. And he got him cheap. I know we're jumping ahead, but Jeff Wilson for a 5th-round pick, that's a bargain right there.
Yeah, but what do you think you could trade for him? He's a running back, so running backs aren't very valuable.
Injury-prone running back at that.
So what?
Well,
would
Jeff Wilson, though, he's always been like the solid guy that was there to back up Elijah Moore.
Yeah, let's pull that one up because I remember last time when you said Elijah Moore is super dependable
Oh, yeah.
and very healthy.
I made that mistake.
And goes down
Fantastic.
immediately. I'm pretty sure Jeff Wilson Jr. has had some injuries in his long, lengthy NFL career. Yeah, calf strain, ankle sprain, knee meniscus tear, leg calf strain.
Oh, my God. They got a full – this is crazy.
Yep, low ankle sprain. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of injuries. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Who's somebody that we wouldn't say is injury prone?
Dependable like that.
Like a running back.
Zeke
Okay.
until
Derrick
this
Henry?
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derrick Henry broke
think he
his what was it? Something in his foot.
Right, but he was out a few games and that was it. I think isn't the rest of his career. Adrian Peterson, besides that ACL tear, was pretty consistent. Yeah.
I know Zeke's hurt this year. Zeke to miss second career game. First game of the season. Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, Eli Manning, I know he's a quarterback, but, you know.
I want to see that same. Was this it? Yeah. Let's see. So I just want to see this list is longer for Zeke.
He's been in the league longer.
Yeah, 2014.
But he went,
that's cool.
He went
2-year
4,
gap.
yeah,
and then 4 years.
2 years
yeah.
and then 4 years without an injury, without a significant injury.
That's pretty solid. But then, we know, once they started picking up, they started picking up.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at that. Elliott was bothered, shook off the knee issue, and was active. Good for the next game.
Yeah, that's what I wish it
He
said.
kept playing, though. He didn't miss any game.
Okay, let's look at this.
Until his PCL tear. No, he played through the PCL tear. The dude just always plays football games. He's insane. No wonder why he's sitting out.
I was trying to see if it says how many games, because I guess that would be the most important thing, right?
Yeah. How many
Is
games
actually
he's
how many
missed?
games he's missed. But I don't see it right.
Oh, yeah, you could just pull up, like, games played. Like in his stats. Just go to stats. Oh, no, right there.
Game log.
Jeff Wilson career stats, yeah. And then you could just see games played.
8,
games.
9,
Oh, okay, there
12,
you go.
10, 6.
Yeah, not great. But then again, he's
He was a backup for a little bit, so he probably wasn't playing every day. But even still,
Yeah, I mean, I'll figure something out so we can. Some of these things I need to come back to when we're not on the podcast, and figure out easy.
I think the best thing we do is when we all pause and stare and look at research.
Well, that's what. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I knew quickly where to go for these, for something like that, then it'd be better. But I mean, I still think we even did a good job.
Yeah.
A good job with this one. But yeah, I think Lucas is wrong, and that was the main thing we were looking at.
Fucking love data, baby.
Data.
We're a data-driven podcast. Today we learned that meth possession in California is just a misdemeanor. So, guys,
Method up, man. A method up.
This podcast is brought to you by Dare.
Method up.
And we're talking trades. This week we had a flurry of trades going into the deadline. Which do you guys think is the most notable besides, obviously, Christian McCaffrey, most notable from weeks prior? We had Kadarius Toney going to the Chiefs, Robert Quinn going to the Eagles. We had TJ Hawkinson going to the Vikings, which we spoke about a little bit earlier. Jeff Wilson Jr. moving. AJ Klein moving. Zach Moss, Bradley Chubb, Chase Edmonds, Calvin Ridley, Jake Martin, Roquan Smith, Chase Claypool, Naeem Hines. Did I miss any? I think I might have missed a few. Regardless,
Bradley Chubb.
tons of movement. Tons of movement for this for the trade. I think the most, right, Lucas? You were saying
it was
this
a
earlier.
record. Yeah, for most in deadline day. Yeah.
Most in a deadline day. Which of these is the most impactful that happened on trade deadline?
Of the ones that happened trade deadline, it's got to be Bradley Chubb. I mean, they gave up a first for him. I know there's other picks exchanged there, but it's not a bad trade on both ends because the Broncos get back a first that they desperately needed after the Russell Wilson trade, and then the Dolphins get a premier pass rusher who, yeah, he may not be one of the top 5, maybe even top 10 pass rushers in the league, but sometimes you use a first-round pick on a pass rusher and it doesn't pan out. So to get one that is for sure going to at least get you a few sacks, it's good. Constant pressure.
Yeah, but who's left on the defensive line for Denver?
Good question. I think they still have. I was gonna say, didn't the Cowboys or didn't Randy Gregory go there? Or did he go to the Dolphins?
Yeah, but I think he's hurt.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. I think he's injured. Maybe he came back already. But it's just, I mean, the Broncos get a draft pick, but it's like, what are you gonna go get in the draft? Is that because you're trying to go get a quarterback?
I think it's because the Broncos know that they're not good this year.
Yeah, I know that,
Yeah.
but it's like Bradley Chubb was the best player on your team?
No, I don't think so.
Whom?
Who?
I mean,
Javonte is
I'd
hurt.
put Justin Simmons over him.
Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, that's true.
Patrick Surtain
That's
for
true.
sure.
Yeah.
And even Justin Simmons, I think, is
Yeah.
better. Yeah. So
Okay.
was he maybe 3rd, 4th best? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, then that's not okay. You're not. I mean, because if you're giving up your best defense, that's what I was kind of thinking. Is like, I forgot about Surtain.
Yeah.
Because I think you could argue the rest, but Surtain is definitely. They still have something to build to have the defense build off of and everything. So that's I guess you got to do something.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're the Broncos, you're a mover and shaker more than you are anything else. I don't know why they got Chase Edmonds for fun. I know that Javonte's out, but they have Latavius Murray and Melvin Gordon. I guess they're just not satisfied with them.
I think they want a more versatile guy because Chase Edmonds can, catch out of the backfield probably better than those two.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the league is going, which is why I was going to say the Naeem Hines trade is a little underrated because if you look at all the elite teams, they all have a good pass-catching running back, and that was the one thing that the Bills were missing.
Yeah, no, I think that is actually going to help them a lot. Not that they need help, but that'll go far. I think Chase Claypool to the Bears, underrated. That's a nice little move. Give Justin Fields someone to throw the football to on a team that actually looks like they're putting a little something together.
Right. It's a new regime. They want to see what they really have in them. Okay, if we get him a receiver, is he actually going to pan out and be a franchise quarterback? I think he is and already was without him, but now we get to really see what it's like.
Yeah,
him.
and another team where I know Calvin Ridley's still suspended for the full year, but clearly the Jaguars are trying to build something with the offensive weapons that they've been pushing towards Trevor Lawrence, who has been more than underwhelming after the first 2 games to start the year.
Yeah, did you guys see the terms for that trade? It's very interesting.
No.
So they get a
Conditionals?
4th-round pick, and I think it goes up to a 3rd with incentives if he hits those incentives, and it goes all the way to a 2nd-round pick if they re-sign him.
Interesting.
When is the pick?
I believe it's a 2024 4th, so not this year, the following year.
So it all goes off of what he does for them next season.
Exactly, yeah, because he's most likely not going to play this season.
And
Well, no-
he's suspended.
Well, he's suspended the whole year.
Right.
So it's basically if he comes back and balls out for them, it goes all the way up to a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah, which is not bad because he's a 1st-round pick originally and played up to that level right before the suspension. Actually, very ironic because Calvin Ridley, I think one of the games he bet on was the Falcons to beat the Jags.
Yeah, that's I saw that meme.
That's funny.
Wow.
The source was a meme.
Source meme.
But yeah, I mean, I think I agree. The Bradley Chubb is a good one. T.J. Hawkinson that's another weapon for Kirk Cousins. That will be interesting. The Chase Claypool giving a weapon is great, but just a lot of little moves here and there. But I still think Christian McCaffrey was the big one. I think Robert Quinn is a good move.
Yep.
Because he plays football well right now. And so I think that anybody that picked him up, that's a good move. Let me go ahead and play some of Dwayne's opinions on this stuff real quick before we go further.
But speaking of that talent, I have to say that I am very upset that we did not make a move at the trade deadline. Okay, I really think that getting some wide receiver help to our core is exactly what we needed. A lot of people are saying that not doing anything was good because we need to secure our future, but this is the NFL. Why does everybody forget NFL is a win now league? If you have a chance to take a swing, take a swing. That's what the whole game is built for. I really think we should have got some receiver help. We should have given up some draft capital to get one of these receivers. Chase Claypool went for a 2nd rounder. You know what I mean? What 2nd rounder in the next draft is going to be anywhere near as good as Chase Claypool is right now? I don't think any. So we could have done something, and I'm very disappointed.
That is going to age like milk.
Do you think Chase Claypool is going to do poor?
No. I just think that which 2nd rounder is going to be better than Chase Claypool? Well, if you have paid attention to these last 2 drafts in the NFL for wide receivers, I mean, they're so deep.
Yeah.
They're so deep.
Yeah, but some of them still don't pan out. So to get something guaranteed and to get it now, I think when you consider the context of where the team is at, I agree with him. I was hoping, we get Chase Claypool. I think we probably would have had to go up a little bit more than a 2nd because the Bears are going to pick, higher than us, which is fine, And there were also talks that we wanted Jerry Jeudy. The price was a 2nd and a 5th. We didn't want to give it up. I would have given up a 2nd and a 5th easy.
Yeah, Judy's really good.
Yeah, but it is what it is, and we just gotta move forward with our practice squad receivers and hope to God that Kenny Galladay comes back and contributes. At least give me one fade in the end zone, and I'll be happy. That's all he's good for at this point, if he can do that, hopefully.
And then he had an opinion on Chase Claypool going to the Bears.
Chase Claypool is a great addition to the Chicago Bears roster. He adds another element in the receiving core for Justin Fields, who I believe is a good quarterback. They are set for the future with Justin Fields, all right? And now you've given him a possession guy to match up with Darnell Mooney, who is definitely like a route technician, and he can do the deep ball. He can take the top off the defense. I think this is really going to make life a lot easier for Justin Fields because you can't stack the boxes on him anymore, and you have to give the Bears room to operate. That's it's gonna pay off dividends for Chicago, and I'm very disappointed once again that the Giants did not make this move before the trade deadline.
He also had to take on Bradley Chubb here.
Denver really confused me by trading away Bradley Chubb. I mean, their GM and everyone has been screaming that they are not trying to have a fire sale of any sorts, all right, that the season may look rough, but they are going to stick it out and fight with this roster, which everybody believed was a Super Bowl winning roster. And now you're trading away your best defensive player, and you're essentially uprooting the team for draft capital to make up for Russell Wilson. I think it makes perfect sense for Miami. They need some pass rush to go along with the rest of their defensive talent, but it does not make a lot of sense for the Denver Broncos. And I think it's a sign that they are sort of packing it in with how good the Chiefs are in that division, and they're not really trying to make a run at it this year, despite what they were talking about over the summer.
I mean, I think they're in Cape. They can't make a run for it. I think they'd love to make a run for it, but they cannot.
Yeah, he is right though. I mean, the Broncos very much so selling it in on the trade deadline, especially with Jerry Jeudy rumors like that. That's a little crazy to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it would make. I mean, I think if you're gonna do it. They should. I mean, get that draft capital and start rebuilding or start building if that's what you're gonna do. So it's like I mean, you still have Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
And KJ Hamler.
And Tim Patrick when
Tim
healthy.
You know what I mean? So they have a very strong receiving core. You know what I mean? From top to bottom, kind of. Like, I would say, I guess I don't think they have like the excuse me. It's not the like superstar. Like Jerry Jeudy's very good.
Yeah.
But not like top 5 receiver in the NFL. But the depth that they have there and how many like guys like I mean, some teams in the NFL, if they had KJ Hamler and Tim Patrick as like two of their receivers, and then are their two best receivers, they would be happy.
Any of those guys would immediately start on the Giants and like half of the rosters in the NFL right now. Yeah, so I get it.
I don't know. There are a lot of good duos, but I think Jerry Jeudy is very good.
I think the Broncos are just being self-aware. Like, hey, this is a year where we're probably not going to beat out we're definitely not going to beat out the Chiefs for the division. Probably not going to beat out even the Chargers for second place, so they're fighting for a wild card spot. It's not looking good, save up for next year. Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
Especially with the Jets playing at a 5-win pace currently, as well as other teams in the AFC actually being somewhat competent. Any final takeaways we have on trade deadline, or are you guys ready to move on to games for the week?
Dwayne had one final thing, and it's about Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey was the perfect pickup for the San Francisco 49ers, and I honestly think this makes them the team to beat in the entire league now. I really do, okay? Especially once they get Debo back, all right, to pair. How do you stop that? Who do you account for on the field with Christian McCaffrey and Debo Samuel out there? You know what I mean? You don't even have to cover Jimmy Garoppolo. Christian McCaffrey can throw the ball too. It's a match made in heaven. Kyle Shanahan said, I need my own super skilled white player to dominate the league. Sean McVay has been showing off with Cooper Kupp. I need to show him what I can do with a incredibly skilled white player in the NFL. And I think he's going to dominate for the next couple of weeks. I could definitely see them in the Super Bowl.
If he wanted an incredibly skilled white player, I don't know why they didn't just target Cooper Rush.
Oh, man. I do not think it makes them the team to beat in the NFL. I thought he was going to say NFC, and I still think that it just makes them one of the contenders in the NFC. I don't think it makes it catapults them above the rest. Because like I said, now the teams are good. Like now you have one game of film with Christian McCaffrey with the Niners. You know what I mean? When you don't, and it's like we go over this so many times in the NFL where it's that like wait, hold on. Sources are telling me that that's a big deal. That having tape is a big deal, and that the more tape that they have on somebody, the easier then it makes. That's why a lot of those sources are saying a lot of those quarterbacks Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks that have success really early on, like really good success, and then teams start to like defensive coordinators can scheme directly against them, literally spending the whole offseason like just watching one guy.
Sounds like you got shady sources.
So
I'm gonna be honest. I don't
Can
know
you
if I trust that logic.
But can you believe that there's guys where like their one job is like, hey, so what I want you to do, realistically, it's probably not one guy, but it's like, hey, for the next couple months at home, you're just gonna watch these 3 quarterbacks. And have like, and it's like, okay, when it's 3rd and 2, and he like fucking wipes his hand on his towel every single time he's thrown a slant. You know what I mean? Like, like shit, they pick up like shit like that.
I'm telling you, that's how you end up watching half of Gran Torino, is if that's your job.
I disagree with Dwayne's take about the Niners being the best team in the NFL, mainly because they're still led by Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, you can only go as high as that quarterback is going to take you, which, he's taking you to the Super Bowl. Did he win it? No.
Dwayne preempted that argument. He said, start Christian McCaffrey at quarterback.
Which, I mean, you can run the Wildcat. You can throw some,
If
basic
Shanahan
concepts.
is as bold as Dable, they'll do it a few times in a game.
I think they're better off doing that than starting Garoppolo.
They just might be. On games this week, none of us picked a Niners game to look at. I don't even know who they're playing this week, to be quite frank. But the boys and the Giants are both on byes. We have first game that we're going to discuss is going to be Packers and Lions.
Niners play Chargers.
That's next Sunday. So not this upcoming Sunday, but in 2 weeks.
Oh, right.
They might
so
be on
they have
the
a bye
this
week too. Yeah,
yeah. Okay. That's great. So Niners have a bye week, so they'll have 1 week of tape to review next week as well. But first game we're going to discuss is Packers and Lions. Lord knows what reason, but we're going to talk about them.
Do you?
Sorry.
The Lions have been better than expected. They not necessarily their
they
record.
Still have 1 win.
That well, as I was saying, not necessarily their record, but as far as their on the field play.
Yeah.
And the Packers have been not anything it's kind of, I mean, I think some people expected this. But those people are haters and are kind of always expecting it so that they would be right when it happened. But this is the Packers is unexpected. Do you think I just wanted to talk about do you think the Lions can win this game?
Yeah. I think they can.
And that is wild. That is not that's basically what I wanted to have said.
Yeah.
Because that was nothing we would have thought at the beginning of the season.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah. I could see it happening. I still think it's a bold take. I still like the Packers just because of, they still have A-Rod at the end of the day. Like, even if he's not having the most stellar season, you still can't really bet against them. So I would take the Packers in this one. It sounds like you're taking the Lions.
No.
Okay.
I think the Lions can beat the Packers. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they won the game. I'm still going to take the Packers. I'm not surprised. This is a coin flip of a game to me.
So you're hedging your bets. Okay. What about you? Are you going to do it? Are you going to take the Lions? Are you feeling bold?
I'm going to go bold. I'm going to take the Lions in this game.
Oh, man.
I just think the Packers are like lost, man. And I think that I think the Lions are always going to play hard, and that like hard against lost, hard's going to win.
Yeah. Another team that always plays hard are the Tennessee Titans.
Ooh.
They very frequently just grind out wins. They still do it. Mike Vrabel is a fantastic coach. Clearly knows what he's doing, just handing the ball off to Derrick Henry on every single possession, not scheming a game at all. But it works. I mean, they're 5-2. They're 5-2 going up against the 5-2 Kansas City Chiefs. I think they get blown out.
I think they get blown out too. The Chiefs. There's too many teams this year that with records where I'm like, no, I don't
believe it. Yeah.
I don't believe it at all. But teams have to have those records, and there seems to be a lot of parity in the NFL this year. So that's probably why. But the Titans are. I mean, they don't play like how the Lions play hard and don't really play like their record's that bad. I don't think that the Titans usually look like they play if their record is this good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree the Titans don't look good, but they do. When they have these big games, they still play up to the competition. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I still think the Chiefs are going to win, of course, but I think it'll be closer than you guys think it's going to be.
Yeah, I think that
I could even see them winning.
I just think the Chiefs are going to win. I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying blowout because football is weird like that, but Chiefs winning for sure.
Yeah, I'm locking it in. Chiefs are gonna blow the doors off the Titans. No, I don't know if that's true. Yeah, for some reason, Mike Vrabel just knows how to coach defensive players. It's almost like he played the game. I can't grasp it. Another guy who knows how to coach defensive players, Robert Saleh, and the New York Jets have a great defensive line. Sauce Gardner is a star in the making, and Zach Wilson is a star declining. Very, very hard. Never was a star, actually. We found out he's actually just an asteroid.
Wait, my sources told me that Zach Wilson is like if Patrick Mahomes played blindfolded.
Well, is that a meme?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's wild.
They play the Bells this week, by the way.
Yeah, they play the Bills. Man, that's you forget they're in contention for control of the AFC East, right? Are
No,
they both 5-2?
Bills have.
Oh, 6-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A game and a half.
Yeah. Well,
We're all picking the Bills, right?
Yeah, of course.
I think the Bills are going to. I think the Bills are going to blow the doors off the Jets.
Yeah, agreed.
But I think the race for the AFC East is going to come down to these two, and it might be close towards the end of the season.
Not the Dolphins?
Sorry, I forget the Dolphins are in the same division. They're so fucking stacked. Never mind. Dolphins,
Yeah.
second, Jets third.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think the Jets are going to make the playoffs, though. Unlike a team that could actually make the playoffs, who's now 4-4 behind Taylor Heineke, the Washington Commanders are playing the Minnesota Vikings this week in a winnable game. Can you believe the Commanders are 4-4? They can make the playoffs.
They've kind of caught some fire with Taylor Heineke. It's kind of wild.
XFL quarter. I mean, they win games under Taylor Heineke.
Do we have a real quarterback controversy now? Like when Wentz is ready to come back?
No,
He's
it's not
got
a
couple more
controversy. It's
weeks.
Heineke's team. They keep winning
So you think he's going to start even after
until he loses.
Yeah, I think this is unlike the Dallas Cowboys situation. I think I think Heineke went. I think unless he just plays like dog shit. I mean, how many more games is Wentz out?
2 to 4, I think.
2 to 4 more games. Yeah, I mean, you go out and beat the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know how you start.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, but I
it's
mean,
not like
assuming,
Wentz was playing well before.
assuming they lose as they're expected to, then it kind of opens the door for Carson Wentz to come back. It's still murky. You have to see how Tyler Heineke plays in the other games.
So
I'm taking the Vikings.
Oh,
Nice.
Vikings all day.
Yeah, and
all right,
I wonder if Hawkinson's going to be. He'll probably have a couple plays, kind of like McCaffrey's first week, and then
Are you ready for my bold take?
Sure.
First bold take of the season.
Oh, here we go.
Manders.
Manders, you like the Manders?
I do. I think they're going to be
Because of Heineke, or you just the whole team? What's?
because of Dan Snyder. That man
Oh,
has
man.
principles. I don't agree with them, but he's got them.
Best owner in the NFL.
No, I do actually kind of like the Commanders. They're a fun team to watch with Taylor Heineke. They just seem to pull out games. They're a very clutch team. Unlike the Los Angeles Rams of this season, who are playing another not clutch team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is this the worst game we're going to talk about? I
Isn't
think
it
this
crazy
is the
to
worst
think-
game we're talking about.
Isn't it crazy to think that this was almost? Was this the NFC? Almost the NFC Championship last year.
Yeah, almost.
Wow, how far both teams have slumped.
Well, they played each other in playoffs last year, and the Rams beat them.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
So, yeah,
I'm
just was
thinking.
up
I'm
there,
thinking the year before. Yeah. Man, this one's so tough. I think the Bucks have hit rock bottom, and the Rams. I don't think they've hit it yet, but are they going to hit rock bottom?
That's what scares me. The Rams can still sink lower, and I think them sinking lower is losing to the Bucks this week.
Yeah, which is crazy to think. Every time I think of these teams and the conversation we're having, I think at the beginning of the season we're like, oh yeah, no, this is a totally different conversation.
Brady's gonna be like, "I'll play you for your wife."
The one that had the brain tumor.
Matt, I'll play you for your wife. I need a new wife. I win.
Oh my
I
God.
get your wife. Tom XO.
No, he won't. Honestly,
So you're picking the Bucks?
the alimony he's gonna get is a huge selling point. He's set for life.
It's like,
All about
Russ.
the alimony.
Russ, I'll play you for your wife.
Then Future's like, hold my beer. Yeah. Are you guys taking the Bucks, Rams?
I'm taking the Rams. I think they're way too talented to
Rams
fuck this
for
up.
Lucas.
Yeah.
Bucks?
Fuck.
Yeah, it's
This
got to
is a hard one.
pick the Bucks.
Rams. Wait. Is Cooper Kupp out?
He might be.
Fuck.
No, I think he's playing.
I heard he's playing, but there's a chance that he doesn't.
I heard that too at the water cooler.
Rams.
Rams.
This just in. I picked the Rams.
Final game, my beloved Arizona football Cardinals against the Seattle football Seahawks. I gotta go Seahawks. They looked really good this last week. They look really good every week. I think the Seahawks are gonna beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Seahawks. It's crazy to see DK Metcalf come back so fast from a patellar injury. I think he was originally slated to be out 4 to 6 weeks, and all of a sudden, oh no, I'm back this week. Yeah, they look great. I
And
can't
what's
lie.
your patellar connected to?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
I think it's your kneecap. Your patella. Yeah.
Okay,
I have no idea.
it's somewhere in there. Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, it's connected to
No,
all the knee.
Yeah, 100%. Very surprising he bounced back from something.
Seahawks for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to win. I think they're a pretty good football team.
Dang.
Yeah,
Okay.
we all agreed. Wow. Okay.
Well, there were two times we disagreed this week. Kenny had bold pick on the Lions. I had the bold pick on the Manders. And then also the Bucks, but that one we all agree is a toss-up of a game. Lucas, this is the first week you didn't have a bold pick.
Yeah,
It's
I
because
don't-
we're holding him accountable. No, now he don't want to say dumb stuff. Do.
I just can't. I can't get behind the Lions or the Manders. Like I can't.
Well, you didn't have to jump on any of those.
Yeah.
You could have went.
Oh, well,
You
wait, which
coulda
one
picked
could
the
have?
Jets against the Bills.
Jets against the Bills? No, I'm not betting against the Bills 2 weeks in a row. Come on, man.
And that's a great put spot. We're ending it, okay?
That's a
We're-
great. I'm
Don't
the
bet
host
it.
of a podcast, and I cannot speak.
Thank you guys for
Sometimes
tuning
I
in.
laugh like a hyena.
Go Cardinals.
Hell yeah, dude.